Hello and welcome back to Loom. So last time Bobbin started his quest, his mysterious quest, and he left Loom Island and we ended up on this beach. This is basically the mainland of the game world. I think pretty much the rest of the game takes place on this landmass. Over here we can see the glass city of Crystalgard. We're not going to go there quite yet, we're going to go into these woods. There is something that we need over here. Just head this way. Very beautiful scenery in this section.
Halt! Who goes?
Well. Looks like a scrawny runt trying to sneak into our flocks.
Sneak? You call that sneaking? I heard them coming all the way in from down.
Thought you were going to fleece some shepherds, did you? Maybe we ought to take the shears to you instead.
Listen, I'm not looking for sheep or trouble. I'm looking for a flock of swans.
Swans?
Swans! You know, birds.
Oh, swans! Of course.
We should have known. Everybody comes here when they want swans.
Next you'll be telling us you're some sort of wizard off to fly away with them birdies.
Right.
Wizard? Wizard? You wouldn't happen to be the great wizard that Fleece was telling us about, would you now?
He
Fleece?
is sort of dressed like a wizard.
I don't know. He doesn't look very powerful to me.
Me neither. I say we don't let him by until we know for sure. Come on then, wizard. Let's see some magic. Or else...
Okay, we can't do any magic right now for them. Nothing that's going to work, so we're just going to leave. Get out of here. He wants to go that way for
Come
some
on,
reason.
lads. He's had enough. Let him go.
Some kind of wizard, eh?
Don't trip on your robe, little wizard.
Get on, you lazy bunch of yous. Back to work.
So what you saw happen there is when they came in, they were invisible, and then they spun the visibility draft, which we have just learned. And then when they were going out again at the end, they spun invisibility, which was the same draft backwards, as I explained in the previous episode. What I didn't touch on, actually, was that some of the spells are palindromic, in the sense that, what I mean is, the spell, it spells the same backwards as forwards, and so you can't reverse the spell, it only works one way. So if it's, for example, C, D, D, C, it's going to be the same backwards as it is forwards, and so the spell only operates like a single function. But the visibility and invisibility, obviously we can do it both ways. We needed to learn that in order to progress in Crystalgard. There's a lot of pixel hunting in this section. I'm trying to remember exactly how we get around here. It's just basically a case of clicking randomly on the screen and hope that he walks in the right direction. Very ambitious landscape here. Where there's these two guys up on the top of this tower, that's where we need to be, so I'm going to go in through this door. Okay. I think what we can do is, if we highlight this conversation, and then we can cast invisibility, assuming that he doesn't automatically get too close. There we go, conversation. So, invisible is GC, GC.
Not so fast here. Who's that? I can barely hear what they're saying.
I trust Your Excellency is pleased with our progress?
That all depends on how far this sphere can help me see.
4 hours, most assuredly. Perhaps 6, with a bit of luck.
Only 6 hours? But I expressly requested 8.
Every sphere is unique, Bishop. It is impossible to accurately predict how well this sphere will perform.
I need at least 8 hours. 8 hours, Master Crucible. See to it.
Right, two very important characters we met there. The creepy Bishop Mandible guy is the head of the Guild of Clerics. I think he's basically the main villain of this game. And then Master Crucible is the head of the Guild of... I think it's the Guild of Glassmakers. I can't remember exactly. We need to look at this crystal ball anyway, but I think we have to go up the tower first. Again, the scenery is very confusing here because it's all prismic, and the pixel art kind of make... This is basically a tower here, you can see. And so, I think...
Huh. A glass bell.
I think we can ring this.
Happen if...
There we go. And it's sort of like a teleporting lift which takes us up the tower.
I'm dizzy.
These are the two workers.
Who are you, lad?
And just what do you think you're doing up here?
I'm not sure. I just rang the bell and
Well, I'm sorry, but you're not supposed to be here.
Step back under the lens, please.
This is a restricted area. No visitors allowed.
Good day, sir.
Good day, sir. I love the the voice acting. It's very like changeable in quality, I think.
I guess I'm not supposed to go up there.
Maybe we go outside and highlight them from outside. Sorry that I can't remember this. We'll work it out. The shepherds that we met just before, they're there we go. Workers. Okay, so let's try going invisible here.
I wonder, did it work? Only one way to find out.
Alright, that should do it. Yeah, the shepherds we met just before, their accents are pretty strange. If you're a native to the UK and you're used to different dialects, they're basically a combination of Welsh, Scottish and Irish. I'm not sure what their accent is supposed to be. I think probably Welsh, because sheep are generally associated with Wales in this country. Sometimes I click on these things and it just doesn't work. Anyway, never mind, that should be fine. Here we go.
Our esteemed Bishop Mandible cuts quite a figure, doesn't he?
I don't doubt the Crucible's getting tired of bowing and scraping to him. Why would the clerics want a scrying sphere anyway? I thought they didn't believe in the future.
Yeah, your guess is as lucid as mine, Flute. But Crucible appears to think that they're up to no good again.
Then why would he do business with them at all? Let alone sell them a sphere.
Well, you know, Crucible, he'd sell his own mother's spectacles if he thought there was a profit in it. And the clerics are paying off in cash.
Which should keep us in the clear for years to come. Still, I'm certainly pleased that Crucible's not taking any chances. This scythe might become very useful if our friend the bishop has been less than transparent with us.
Ouch!
Yes, very useful indeed.
Interesting stuff. We can just continue past these guys, and I think if we use this bell it teleports us down to the other side where the crystal ball was. There we go. Examine this. So what we saw happen there is Bobbin spinning a draft that we don't know yet in order to scare away the shepherds. I think we can examine this several more times, if I remember correctly. A fiery cave. And that's a sort of prophetic vision of the future again with the swans. That's a draft we need to use later on. I think that's all we get now. Yeah, we get Terror again now. That draft I think is called Terror, if I remember correctly. Okay. I think that's just about all we can do here. We've got to go all the way around again. Fabulous. This is one of the sections of the game which is slightly sort of drawn out. There are two sections that spring to mind where there is just a lot of walking backwards and forwards in the landscape. But Crystalgard is an interesting area because it introduces us to two new and important guilds in the story, particularly to Bishop Mandible, who is a cool character, and we'll be seeing like more of him later on. Okay, I think if we go in here, there's something we can do as well. Is there? Can we go in that door? Gonna go inside? Again, it's pixel hunting time. There we go. I think this is like a graveyard.
Welcome to Crystalgard, stranger. I'm Master Goodmode, 31st in the Noble Guild of Glassmakers. And who might you be? My name is Bobbin. Bobbin Threadbare of the, Noble Guild of Weavers.
A weaver! Tell me, is it true that to peer beneath a weaver's hood brings instant agonizing death?
I honestly don't know. Nobody's ever tried it with me. You have such a wonderful view of the sky here. Have you noticed a flock of swans flying this way?
Swans?
Swans. You know, birds.
Yes, swans! No, I haven't heard of any swan sightings. Look around to your heart's content, Weaver Threadbare. And remember, if you break it, you buy
it. Awesome. What a cool... The guy's got a really cool voice actor, I think. So this is basically like a graveyard, I think.
Softshard, wife of loosened Bottleblow, here attain final clarity.
And yeah, if you hadn't worked it out already, each of the guild members, each member of each different guild has a name which is basically sort of a play on words. So obviously with the Weavers, you have Bobbin Threadbare, and you know, these are like glass makers, so you have these
Softshard, wife of loosened Bottleblow,
Lucent Bottleblow and Softshard. And there are more guild members who we will meet shortly who have these kind of pun-based names as well. There was a secret scene which we could have got here, which is just an optional little secret bit of dialogue you can get from Master Goodmold. If you go to there's a chalice, and if you fill it by using the opposite of the empty draft, you can get a secret bit of dialogue explaining that it's been filled with wine by the Guild of Vintners, who don't appear in this game, but we have more to say about them later on. The mouse cursor keeps changing to the Windows cursor, I'm sorry about that. Anyway, we have what we need to progress through the forest now, I believe. Let's give it a try. The vision that Bobbin had in the scrying sphere of scaring away the shepherds with that draft, we will try it now.
He's back!
So are we.
Okay, so if we highlight them and then we cast them highlighted, EFFE.
It's the dragon! Oh, he's after us!
Well, that worked. Funny, I don't feel very scary.
He actually looks kind of spooky just on his own, I think. And there was the comment before from Goodmold about how it's rumoured that if you look under a weaver's hood, it's like certain death. In the first episode, I mentioned that there is a secret scene if you play on expert mode in other versions of this game. It's to do with that, and when we get to it, or rather get to where it should be, I will explain. Right, we are now in the Shepherd's Fold, and there is this sleeping guy. Dozing.
Poor fella. He must have had a long night.
Hey, you! Get away from here! Now I've got to go and round them all up again. And you'd better not be here when I get back. Go on now.
Sorry about that, mate. We learned another reversible draft there, which was the sheep jumping over the fence in the classic counting sheep kind of thing, which was waking up the guy, and then when he rounded them up the other way, it was the same draft in reverse, which put him back to sleep. So essentially this guy is cursed to constantly be waking up and falling asleep over and over, as the way I see it. Anyway, let's move on. I don't think that draft is actually necessary to beat the game with. I can't remember. I don't think you need to use it, though. If we go over here... What's that? Is that a glitch? Is it cemetery?
Some of these graves are really old.
So this place is called the Fold, and it's the home of the Guild of Shepherds. And if we go into here, we can meet one of them now.
Hello there.
Who said that?
I did. My name is Fleece, first chosen of the Guild of Shepherds. I wish we had time to chat a while and trade some tales, but we have got a serious problem on our hands.
What sort of trouble are you having?
It seems we've a dragon nearby who has an enormous appetite for fresh mutton. We breed our sheep for extra whiteness, so we cannot keep them on the meadows. She can spot them miles away. By now, the dragon has carried off so many that we may not be able to fill the cleric's order.
The clerics? I just saw the bishop at the glassmakers.
Bishop Mandible? He placed the order for 10,000 sheep.
10,000 sheep? That's enough to feed an army.
Yes, that had occurred to us too. You noticed our increased patrol in the forest. We'll deliver the sheep to the clerics if we can, but we won't trust them.
I suppose fighting the dragon will be out of the question.
Only a mage can save us.
Right. This is Fleece Firmflanks. Another cool pun-based name there. She is the first chosen of the Guild of Shepherds. And she's a very important character because originally Loom was planned to be the first game in a trilogy, and each of the subsequent games was going to star a different guild member. Fleece was going to be the protagonist of the third game, which was going to be called The Fold, and we will meet the protagonist of the planned second game, Forge, later on. But she's a really cool character, and she's kind of wise to what's going on and what Mandible's plans are, as she hinted at. But if we examine this sheep, we can learn a new draft.
I see you've noticed my little friend.
She doesn't look at all well.
She isn't, and my songs of healing don't seem to be bringing her much comfort. I wish I were better with him.
Her eyes opened, just a little. Try it again.
Okay, I'm wondering if we can do this. I can't remember. Oh no, we can't use A yet. Get out of this draft here. Notice that what she sung was CAAC, which is again a palindromic draft, meaning that it's the same backwards as forwards and it only has one function. Anyway,
the flock is out to pasture. You'll find them there. Go forth, wizard, and may you return safely to our fold.
now the sheep are out on the pasture. This is where the dragon is preying on them. All we have to do here, it's quite a simple little trick. You remember when we were back on Loom Island and there was the like the fabric dyeing thing where we could turn the white fabric green and the green fabric back to white again. All we can do here is if we dye these sheep green with that draft, they'll be camouflaged and the dragon won't be able to see them and carry them away. So if I just consult my scribblings, okay, it should be DD CD to dye them. Perfect. So yeah, because the dragon couldn't see the sheep, he could just see Bobbin standing out.
Well, what have we here? Oh, that's what comes of being in such a blazing hurry, I guess. I thought you looked a bit scrawny. Oh, why, you'd hardly make a decent kindling.
There we go. So because the sheep were dyed green, the dragon couldn't see them, but she could see Bobbin standing in the middle of the fold. And basically he was just standing out, so she took him instead. Now we are in the dragon's cave, and I am going to end the episode here. Next time we will see if we can escape from this predicament. Thanks very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, leave a comment, let me know what you think, subscribe for more, and I will see you next time for more Loom. Take care and goodbye.